So what's your topic for today, bro?
Okay.
Let's say second topic of the day.
Welcome back
Yo.
to another
Stop doing that, man.
Welcome back to another episode of Code. We are live on Channel 4. Please do not swear. Anyway, you guys, welcome back.
Channel 4?
Channel 4 is pretty good.
Actually, yeah, no, they do have some good shows.
Nah,
like,
Channel 4 is the blackest show, the blackest TV thing that's going on.
George, I don't really
Nasty.
watch. What is on Channel 4 that's good?
Speaking of
Big nasty
what you
show.
just said, yeah.
Bruv.
This is
That's the
like,
only
this
thing
is
I
a,
never
I'm gonna
watched
put this as
before.
like a mini bubble in
Same
between the next
Simpsons.
episode, yeah. Have
That's
you
on
guys
Sky.
heard? Have you not heard of a show called Naughts and Crosses?
Yes.
What's
Have you
that
seen it?
about?
It's based off the book, innit?
Yeah.
Yeah,
haven't seen the show.
I know what it's about, but I
What
haven't
is it?
read the book.
It's
or
about
seen
what
it.
if society was flipped. So instead of black people being oppressed for hundreds of years, it was white people being oppressed, and black people were
more like
seen
they were
as
more
the
royal black people
yeah.
and stuff like. I've
they
seen
were
clips
seen
of it.
as, you know, like how, well, you know how I'm not gonna say superior because it's a bit questionable, but you know how back in the days of slavery and so on, white people presumed themselves as superior for black people. It's what if the roles were reversed and Africa was the center of the world and spread outwards, and London and England is like how South Africa is now.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, what if the world was like that, and how white people were interacting with black people and so on. You can't have interracial relationships and so on because same reasons why they didn't approve it back in slavery times and so on, and all that, and like apartheid times. So it's a really interesting TV show.
What's the budget like? Is it like?
It's good. It's like
Is it like a Game of Thrones budget?
No, I wouldn't go
It's
that.
like
What's that one with Idris Elba?
like
You know what I'm talking about.
Luther, yes.
Yeah.
It's
It's
like
like a
that
Luther
budget.
budget.
Yeah,
That's a
good
BBC, it's a
budget.
BBC show as well. I was
Yeah.
very surprised that the BBC made that.
Yeah, it's based off the book Naughts and Crosses.
Oh, okay.
It's really good.
So would you
Really
recommend
good.
to watch it?
I would heavily recommend to watch it because it kind of puts
It's got Stormzy in it.
yeah,
Yeah.
it kind of puts
Oh,
things
really?
into perspective of society, because when people see it, they're like, oh, I could never let this happen to me. Oh, this is terrible. And then they look outside and they see that it's been happening for hundreds of years just to the other race. And they're like, they start looking introspectively. They're like, oh, okay, so what if I wouldn't like this to happen to my ethnicity? Why am I then doing this? And why have I been allowing this to happen to so many other people?
Oh, how many
So-
seasons has it got?
It's just the one season so far. I haven't finished it, but it's like a really introspective show, because when you look at it, you reflect upon society. Well, it's made for you to reflect upon society. So if you don't, then raw, right? Okay. But still, I feel like it's a really interesting way of showing racial inequality by flipping the spectrum.
Oh, okay.
So I
And I
highly
think-
recommend that.
I think it's really good when they kind of put certain things that really make you think in like TV shows. So say it's a really good and engaging TV show or action or whatever you're into, but in it, the subplot actually makes you really think.
Yeah.
Like, what kind of, is there any other kind of shows that you
Back
know
in
of
the
that-
back in the TV shows back in the day used to do that a lot. One show that I've been rewatching, which had it pretty much in every episode, was The Fresh Prince.
Jeez.
That's
It
true,
was
that's true.
really funny, but there was a message in pretty much every single
Yeah,
episode,
That's true.
and like underlining tones. And they were it was made to try and better you as an individual, so you grow up and be like, just more acclimated to society. But it was funny.
Like My Wife and Kids was the same.
Yeah,
Oh,
My Wife and
yeah,
Kids,
yeah,
that was a good
that was-
one.
that
I
was
think
quite
like,
good.
there's normally a message in every single. They had a silly episode where they had like a message behind pretty
Yeah.
much every single episode.
What other shows did that as well?
Star Trek that I watched a lot. The
What's
original
that?
Next Generation.
Do you know
Yeah,
how
Next Generation
powerful
did that.
My Wife and Kids is?
Yeah.
Like, that's basically a black middle class family.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I hate that word, by the way. So
What,
it's
middle
like
class?
Middle class,
I
yeah.
hate the whole class system bullshit like
Yeah.
that. But if you were to like put it in perspective in that sense, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Because like it's like literally a family. How many of them? Is it a family of 5 in it?
Five.
Three
No,
kids.
five. 3 kids.
Two girls,
and
Oh
one boy.
yeah,
Yeah, it's a family
because
of
Katie,
5.
yeah.
They have a nice home. You know what I mean? Their mum
Franklin.
and dad works a good job.
Yeah.
Stuff
Franklin's
like
not
that.
the kid. Franklin's
That's
not the
actually
kid.
kind of crazy.
Yeah, I know,
It
but-
made
yeah, I know,
you.
but he's
It
a
made you
boyfriend,
believe.
isn't
It
he?
made you believe more like black people can atone to that
Yeah.
kind of success. You get what I mean?
And also, when that show
That's
came out as
crazy.
well, it was quite a while ago, and it was quite it's good to see, because I can imagine back in what was it when it came out, like what, the early 2000s?
think so.
Yeah.
It was kind of in the era of the Wayans brothers, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah.
2005,
And it was
6.
It was
Yeah,
before the
it was.
whole equality TV kind of thing.
Yeah,
Before there was
quality
more
kind of
it
TV
was
ruined
definitely
it.
before that,
Yeah.
boy.
Ruined it.
Definitely before that, man. It was
long before that. So it was
Long
good to
before
see
that, bruv.
stuff like that
Yeah.
back then.
And you
That's
know
what I'm
what?
saying.
I like to see more black representation, but also we need to go back to more organic representation
Yeah.
rather than forced. Because
Like,
you can feel when it's forced. Like when it's forced, it's like it's cringe.
I
Does
feel
that
like
make
one
sense?
TV show where it was real cringe where it was forced was Black Lightning.
Oh,
I
on
watched it,
Netflix.
and
Yeah.
after episode 1 or 2, I was like, bun
They need
this.
to go back to static
But
shot.
this is the thing.
Yeah.
why-
That was
no,
good
but
back
no,
in
but
the
this
day.
is the thing. Why does it feel cringe?
It
When
feels
it shouldn't
cringe
be.
because it's like they're put in a world where it's only black people. Only black heroes, black protagonists, black people.
But this is the thing. That's what. Why does it feel cringe when white people were
It's
doing
not
this
realistic.
for years? But why would it not be realistic when we think?
Where is it based
in
though?
about-
Where is it based? Because I've never seen
It's
it.
in America or somewhere. Like,
But the thing is, they tend to only deal
oh,
with
no,
like.
that's a good.
This
point.
is what I'm trying
That's
to
a good
raise.
point.
This is why does that feel cringe when white people have been doing this for years? They've been films and stuff like that where it's just
Only white
predominantly
people,
white.
yeah.
Well, predominantly, yeah.
That's what I'm trying to say. Why
And
is it like that?
even 100% white people. Like, I don't
Well,
see.
then
I've
maybe
seen
I
100.
don't know.
This
I
is
don't
what
know.
I'm trying to. You see how like Tyler Perry's got his whole string of thing,
Yeah.
whole string of. That
Yeah, but Tyler
people-
Perry doesn't feel like
No, but
us
if you
doesn't
watch
feel
his
cringe,
stuff,
for
if you
example.
watch his stuff, it's just like it won't make you cringe, but you
No.
can put that in that same matter as like there's so many black people in one.
Yeah, true,
everything.
but it doesn't feel forced. So there must be a way of doing it
But
right.
forced in what sense?
But this is
You know
what I'm trying to say.
say?
Tyler Perry, when you watch a Tyler Perry film, it doesn't feel cringe or forced.
No, but
It feels like with certain things, it feels like
define what is it
Okay, but
forcing out.
Can
That's what I'm trying to say.
can I give you an example? For me, the only reason why I didn't like Black Lightning is similar to why I didn't really like Luke Cage, the TV series.
you didn't like Luke Cage.
Wait. Let me explain, you guys. Wait. No, wait.
It's coming out, Luke.
You guys, let me explain.
Oh my
I think-
god!
You're just
Wait,
racist.
you guys. I
Go
think Luke Cage, I watched season 1, I really liked him as an actor and him as Luke Cage.
Yeah.
My only thing is, I see him as a positive black superhero,
Yeah.
but I feel like the direction they went with it is they only show like, I don't see Spider-Man, he saves the whole community, he's everywhere in the community doing stuff. Why is Luke Cage only in the kind of this narrow perspective of
That's
what
true.
people, like when people
That's
think
true.
of black people, they only think of, oh, the drug dealers, they're
Barbershop.
robbers,
That's true.
they're this.
That's true.
That's
That
why
is
I
true.
didn't like it.
You're not lying.
If
You're
he
not
was
lying.
a kind of like the Black Panther, Wakanda,
Yeah.
I like that show because yes, he's king of his own country and he's helping that, but he's also doing
Stuff in
Positive.
Asia.
But this is
everywhere.
what I'm trying to say because
Yeah.
that's just you saying. You're basically saying why is it dealing with black people in a negative
no.
light?
I'm not saying negative.
So what
I'm
are you trying to say
saying
then?
Why is
there's-
it only
no,
in this
but
narrow point
in
of view?
positive, but with any culture, you saying black culture, you saying any culture, with any culture, yes, there's these issues of drugs and barbershops. Barbershops is like a confident place you can go to kind of get your hair cut and do whatever, but also you can express yourselves. But drugs, kind of knife crime, all of this stuff. But there's so many other positive avenues and activities. If there was positive activities that they're doing something positive, but then stuff happens and he saves the day there, that's calm. But he's only kind of defined to that little kind of stereotype that people have of
I
black people.
see what you're trying to say. Yeah, the negative connotations and negative archetypes that they put around black people. That's
What I have
I
the
get
issue
that.
with.
But
That's
I
the
get
only
that.
issue
But
I
also,
have.
I
with
get
it.
what you mean by that because when I was in uni, I did my dissertation based off that whole entire thing with like, why are black people always in such a negative light in films such as that? But
And if there was
but
loads
the thing is, the reason why it's like that because it is true. You get what I mean? That's why people like Spike Lee, John Singleton made films back in the day like that when it was based around drugs, crime, and this, why is it like that? Because it was basically
That's
true.
like saying, why are there Italian mafia films? Because
Okay.
there
Because
were
it's true.
Italian
You
mafia.
get what I mean?
In a
there
sense.
there is a section of people that are black
And
that
that
do
commit
commit
co-
crime
yeah.
and do sell drugs.
Yeah, true.
That's 10%, 1%.
True.
There's the other 99% that are businessmen doing
True,
really
but
positive stuff.
to be
but
fair,
we don't
if we
see
use that example,
stuff.
then all old white people who run multi-million companies are all criminals trying to take over the world.
I'm not saying
By that
that.
Marvel example.
Oh,
I know,
I'm not saying
but
that,
if you look at the demographic of Marvel super millionaire villains, they're all white guys, they're all old, and they're all trying to take over the world. And nobody complains about that. So in the same sense, I do 100% agree with you that they never show the little piece of like positive reinforcement of the community.
It's only just now they're starting to do it.
Yeah.
But these are matters that we can't just ignore. That is actually going on in the community.
but
That's what we're trying to say.
why I refer back to Spider-Man is he is a neighborhood thing. He's doing stuff. Yes, there's crimes that particularly relate to him, but also he's doing stuff. He's helping people there and there.
Out of
The
agree
whole-
with you with
like,
Luke Cage. Luke Cage is only helping out in
if
Harlem. He
Spider-Man
never
was
went nowhere.
only, let's say Spider-Man was only helping out
In Queens.
kind of.
Yeah.
He was only dealing with drug dealers and people that were committing crime, drug dealers and kind of black people that were stabbing people. I'd have the same issue. But Spider-Man, he's everywhere. He's helping all different kind of people. He's engaged and positively in doing
That's
this.
true.
Luke Cage, I really like what it stood for. I just didn't like
It's the way
that
it
they
did it,
threw
yeah.
him in that role and only made him out to be that. I see him as so much more than that.
He's basically a glorified drug dealer beater.
Exactly.
That's
Yeah.
all he does. Like he
Oh,
never
I
goes
agree.
to only in when they had that whole where they mashed up all the superheroes.
Oh,
remember
yes.
that?
Yeah,
What was it called?
They
had
had mini
Defenders.
Avengers. The Defenders, that's it, yeah.
Only when that happened did he really come out of Harlem and do something other than
Then
dealing
beat
with
up
his
drug dealers.
immediate
Yeah.
environment. But like, yeah, and he didn't even want to do that. Like he just wanted to go home. Like the entire time he's like, no, I'm going home. No, I'm going back to Harlem. Like the entire time.
But
So
the thing is, in Harlem, there's negative issues, but there's so much positive stuff happening now.
Yeah.
And it's like they're only pinpointed on, like when you think of, for example, black people, you only think of one or two negative things, and that's how people stereotype young people, young black boys and young black people. I just don't like the whole stereotyping.
the big argument I'll say against that is if they made the world too. There's a fine line, right, between showing the badness. The more badness they show, the more of a superhero they can make Luke Cage look like. But he's trying to deal with all of that.
But he can be a superhero and not just deal with that. He
Yeah,
can be
true,
dealing with
true,
other
true,
stuff.
true.
Like Spider-Man. I keep on saying Spider-Man because
He's the archetype, to be honest. He's
he
he's the
deals with
archetype.
everything. He deals with issues in his thing. He deals with this. He deals with that. If they had Luke Cage, so yes, season 1 was about that, but season 2 he was dealing with a bit of this, bit about that, still about other stuff, helping out
But
different
other
things.
stuff, what do you mean, by the way?
Yeah. What other stuff would you want
Do you
to
not understand what I'm saying, Connor?
I know what you're saying, but
No,
what
we
other
know,
stuff?
but
Like, what
What
other
is it?
stuff are you talking about?
Anything else that doesn't like kind of.
Like,
I want there to be a positive superhero for young black boys or for young people in general to look up to and say, yes, I want to be that. But not all the time, every single episode being knife crime, drugs, knife crime.
It could be like, what's his name? Dealing with political corruption or dealing with, I don't know. Like,
Yeah, because to be fair, they did have the political
did
thing
have
in
the
it,
political
but
thing,
but not for much.
that just linked back into the drug dealing and the knife crime and everything else.
We're
Like,
not saying
but-
that. Well, Chris is saying that Luke Cage was a bad show or that the message overall wasn't a positive one. But it's just the way that they chose to represent him, only dealing with those specific amount of problems when there's many
I get
more
that. I get that.
type of problems.
I do get
That's where it should fall short. Like it had so much potential to be someone that could have been a positive role model to young black people, and it just fell into the archetypes that people continue to put young black people into, dealing with drugs, dealing with
Exactly.
crime.
And
So
that's
I
what
think
I'm-
they could have circumnavigated that by maybe adding a bit more nuance to the plot.
Yes, if they did that,
And maybe even giving, not like a sidekick, but even giving him like a team who's trying to like change things around. And
yeah.
because they had the barber shop. Yeah, they had Defenders, but Defenders went off doing their thing with the big people, man. They weren't worried about people in Harlem, but like maybe giving him like something out, like a little base out of the barbershop where they tried to help people or reach out.
Anything.
And I know this is a completely different show,
Yeah.
but Daredevil, same universe, yeah, but I understand he has his own world of issues. He's a lawyer and so on, but his enemies that he would fight were of much broader range than that of Luke Cage.
Yeah,
he was going up
exactly.
against businessmen like Wilson Fisk. I understand Wilson Fisk is his enemy and so on in that universe, but he's going from high-class businessmen and so on, gang members.
But wouldn't that just be more down to like the comics themselves and how they're actually written and drawn? Because the studios themselves try to base what is seen in the comics and tries to alter it a little bit. Okay, I get the altering could have done a bit better in the climate that we're in now, but the base of the comics wouldn't you want to change? Wouldn't the comics be a bit like...
Not all of Luke Cage's comics were like...
Wait. Before you say that, you should look at Luke Cage's comics.
haven't seen all of his comics, but the ones that... What I'm saying is that, at the end of the day, yes, stick to the source material, but also, if you're going to make a superhero, be it white, black, Chinese, anything, make it so any young person of that race or any race can look
appreciate
up
it,
and be like, you know what, that's what I want to be. I just don't like that they're trying to...
You can't really look up to Luke Cage unless you're going to be... You can't be bulletproof and you can't be going around beating people up.
And the thing is,
like,
I just want to get out of
the
kind of the whole negative stereotyping is all black people do this, this and this, when they do so much more. And I just said, Connor, if he was fighting the kind of daredevil things, a broad range, I would think, yes, this is my superhero doing all this good stuff, not just... That's why I had the issue with those two
I
shows.
do understand that. I do really understand that.
I get that.
I do really do understand
This
that.
will deviate.
But Luke Cage was too hard though, man.
Luke Cage was also too hard.
Listen,
No, remember, what was the woman's name in it? Fisher? No, it wasn't Fisher Meaning. That's from DC.
That's Gotham.
Yeah, that's DC.
Well, you mean the black lady that was in charge?
Fam. She was sick, fam.
That's
the one that hung with shades.
Yeah, with shades.
That story was so messed up.
I can't remember.
So messed up,
Yeah,
but it was
that
good,
was
man.
weird.
It was
It
good.
was so messed up, bro. What was that man's name again?
What, which
The
one?
main villain in number 2.
Bushmaster.
Listen.
Was it
Bushmaster.
Bushmaster?
It was
Bush-
Bushmaster.
Bush
It was
something.
like
Bush something.
It was something Master, I remember.
It was Bushmaster or something like
That was a bad thing, bro. What was that line we kept on saying from it? There was one line we kept on saying from it, which was a bad thing.
Now you're gonna get me a dead, fam.
I'm gonna have to look it up, but let's not, all the social issues aside, Luke Cage was a good season.
Okay, guys, if you want to, don't look at the Luke Cage comics for references on how not to do superheroes because the Luke Cage comic is terrible.
Oh,
Really?
jeez.
He runs around wearing chains on his wrist.
This is what I'm talking about.
This is what I was going to go back to what Giovanni was saying.
This is what I'm talking
The representation of Luke Cage as a comic book hero
as a
is
comic book-
terrible. The guy runs around with a silver band on his forehead and chains on his wrist.
I mean, that's kind of gas.
I mean,
No,
like,
not chains, like handcuffs and then chains coming from the
Yeah.
handcuffs.
that is mad. Why?
yeah,
you
that's
do
how
that?
he has like
That's
chains
kinda
around
gas,
his
though.
necks and stuff
Yeah.
like that. Yeah, bro.
So yeah,
So literally, like, that's yeah, fair enough. So they did tweak it a lot. Then
they did tweak it a
did
lot.
change
That's
it a
what
lot.
I'm saying.
They could have made
but
the
they needed
overall message.
yeah.
The overall message could have been done better, but they did tweak it a lot from what the comic books are.
I do hear
Yeah,
that
I
they
mean-
tweaked it a lot, but
They could have done a bit better. And they
I
could
would,
have
I would like to
okay.
see.
That's fair
like,
enough.
When I for me, if anyone wants to say what is the best black superhero,
Black Panther.
Panther is for me right now the best and only one I could say because kind of the message he portrays and what he's doing and all the other stuff. They haven't got him just doing his stereotypical kind of stuff. He's yeah.
Because
I
like,
get what
that's
you mean
true.
by that,
Because
yeah,
Black
yeah.
Panther, at the beginning of the film, he's taking down traffickers in Africa. He didn't spend the whole film taking down traffickers in Africa. He went all over the world and did stuff. He went to Asia, beat up some Yakuzas. He went everywhere. You know what I'm saying? He even dealt with like corruption going on.
Exactly.
Like, yeah, that's true. That's very true. But yeah, Luke
I
Cage,
get what you mean in the sense like, it's more than you want more than just seeing another blackface on TV
yeah.
kind of
I
thing.
want it to mean something. I want it to have a positive message to inspire people with.
Yeah,
And that's what I think Black Panther
that's-
does.
A lot of the time, even still in media and films and so on, black people are still used as a token individual.
This is what I'm saying, and this is what I was going back to where we started at. Representation means good writing, not just putting a black person in there to be a role. That was my point. That's why sometimes it feels forced. Whereas with Tyler Perry, when he does something, it doesn't feel forced.
Yeah, let's just end it from there.
All right, guys. So that was this mini episode on black influence in TV shows.
Yep.
Enjoy. Hope you guys liked the episode. And we'll see you on the next one. Peace. Like and subscribe.
I wanted to get one thing.
Yeah, Project Code, we're here for the nation. No delegation, we do this ourselves. One for the community.